So late last week, the appellate courts in the state of Arizona, once again, just like the lower courts, tossed out failed Republican gubernatorial candidate Carrie Lake's election challenge lawsuit. This actually came the day after you had that group file bar complaints against Carrie Lake's lawyers for even filing the lawsuit to begin with. So the lawyers got bad news one day, turn around the next day, and their lawsuit gets tossed out because the judge says, not only do you not have any evidence, but your own witness that you called that supposedly was going to blow this thing wide open confirmed that everything you're saying is actually false. Let me read this. This is from the Associated Press. In a ruling on Thursday, the Arizona Court of Appeals wrote Lake, who claimed problems with ballot printers at some polling places on Election Day were the result of intentional misconduct, presented no evidence that voters whose ballots were unreadable by tabulators at polling places were not able to vote. The court said that even a witness called by Lake to testify had confirmed that ballots that couldn't initially be read at polling places could still ultimately have their vote counted. The appeals court wrote Lake's appeal failed because the evidence supports the conclusion that voters were able to cast their ballots, the votes were counted correctly, and that no other basis justifies setting aside the election results. So you came into our court, just like you did the lower court, and provided no evidence. You made a bunch of claims, which is great, but you can't just make a claim without any evidence. That's like if I walk into a court and say, Judge, I got to sue Bigfoot because Bigfoot destroyed my fence. Judge say, great, let me see the video evidence. Let's get Bigfoot on the stand. And I'm like, well, I don't have any evidence. Okay, but you saw Bigfoot do this, right? We can take your eyewitness. No, I mean, I didn't see him do it. Oh, but you've seen a Bigfoot in your area. And so, you're assuming. I've never seen a Bigfoot. Why would you think I've seen a Bigfoot? Like, that is essentially what Carrie Lake's lawyers had to go into court and argue because they knew they had no evidence. They're just like, well, I mean, we're pretty sure this thing could have happened. I mean, it seems plausible, right, Judge? I mean, you kind of think it may be a thing? So you would think, especially with the sanctions that Carrie Lake and her legal team have already been hit with, the bar complaints the lawyers have been hit with, getting tossed out on two separate courts, you would think this is over, right? Carrie Lake can finally fade into obscurity. Nope. After the case was tossed, Carrie Lake tweeted this. I told you we would take this case all the way to the Arizona Supreme Court, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Buckle up, America. Yeah, buckle up, America, because this ride is about to get even stupider. Carrie, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to get your lawyers in more trouble? Like, do you want them to get disbarred? Do you want to get hit with more sanctions? Because that's what's going to happen. No, but really what is happening here is that Carrie Lake knows there is a 0% chance she's going to overturn the election results. She's not fighting to overturn the election. She is fighting, as I've said repeatedly, to remain relevant. If she gives up and drops the case and goes away, there's no reason for conservative outlets to continue to have her on. There's no reason for CPAC to invite her to be a speaker because she's just now a failed candidate that's not doing anything. I mean, as far as we know, she doesn't even have a real job, right? I mean, does she have a job right now or is she just an unemployed weirdo whining on conservative media, occasionally showing up to speak at events? That's not a job. But this is what it is. She knows that the second she quits fighting, she is no longer relevant within the Republican Party, and that is what scares her even more than losing that election scared her. She doesn't want to disappear. She doesn't want to fade away. She doesn't want to be the, just most recent flavor of the month. She wants to be a major player, as she doesn't care how many times she has to embarrass herself to keep that role. Hi, everyone. This here is little Athena. And Athena would like to know why you haven't subscribed to Fair and Balanced yet. So please, don't let Athena down. Subscribe today.